Yeah, that's right. You got to tune in tomorrow. SoundHound, Novo Nordisk, and Brian Chesky of Airbnb, CEOs of all of them, big companies, big stocks. So stay tuned. Closing bell is ringing in about, I don't know, 11 minutes, 13 minutes. We got a big move here in the markets to the downside. And it's not so much that it's so big to the downside, but the Dow itself, from peak to trough, has had about a 30-point swing. So at the high of the session, the Dow was up 219 points. Right now, it's down 325. It had been lower by 422 points. S&P down 31 points. It had been as high as 19 points. And then the NASDAQ at the moment down 48. NASDAQ was up nearly 200 points earlier. So much for that. Russell 2000, well, it opened flat, went down about 54 points, and right now it is down 48 points. The transport's in the red by 175 points. We should check out Apple, and here's why. Yesterday, Apple closed at its first record of the year. And then this morning, it hit an intraday record. Right now, it is just slightly lower, probably down with the broader market due to the fact that we got those headlines at around 1 p.m. Eastern that perhaps Iran might be rejecting that 14-point U.S. plan to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. That has not yet been confirmed, but nonetheless, it has spooked the markets. Right now, Apple's at $286.76. If it closes any higher, that would be the second straight record close of the year. And reporting after the close, let's take a look. Big names here: CoreWeave, Coinbase, DraftKings, Airbnb, and Block. And we just have DraftKings and Airbnb in the green at the moment. CoreWeave, Coinbase, and Block are lower. Tomorrow, big moment. We're getting the April jobs report. Ahead of that, we had New York Federal Reserve President John Williams saying that the job market is stable, but there is a lot of economic uncertainty right now. A couple of Fed heads have said that they don't really see the high oil prices, at least in the near term or longer term, totally affecting the inflation and pushing it much higher. But inflation's at 3.3% right now, and that is pretty far from the 2% target that the Fed has set. All right, investors are taking aim at chip architect and newly minted chip maker ARM, despite the company's top and bottom line earnings beat. The reason, if you talk to some investors and analysts, is that it's largely on supply concern issues. On the earnings call, the company said ARM does not yet have enough capacity to fulfill the $2 billion worth of demand for its brand new homegrown data center chip, the ARM AGI CPU. But the good news is there's a ton of demand. Joining me now, ARM Holdings CEO and SoftBank Group International CEO Rene Haas. Yeah, you got two titles now, so we'll talk to you about that in a minute. But Rene, what's the deal? I mean, the stock's down about 9%. You came in with very good numbers, but Wall Street's worried. It's one thing that you have a wonderful demand, but that's great until you can't fill that demand.
Yeah, well, thanks, Liz, and thank you, as always, for having me today and to talk about ARM. As far as the share price goes, if I go back to what the numbers were at the time we announced the product, we're super happy in terms of the market reaction. I don't know exactly where the numbers are, but it's up quite a bit since March 24th. But as far as the reaction to the supply side, one of the things that we did say on the call was that we have $1 billion of demand that we talked about at the ARM AGI announcement at the ARM Everywhere event. But since that time, we've seen another $1 billion of demand that we are now in the process of securing supply for. So we're working through two channels on that. One is TSMC, and the other is on the memory side. I'm confident we're going to be able to fulfill some of that demand. Don't know if we'll do all of it, but right now the outlook is quite good, and demand is probably going to even go up from here. So it's been crazy in terms of the reaction to the product.
Okay, hold on one second. So you've gone from $2 billion in orders to $3 billion in demand?
No, what I was saying was we said $1 billion.
$1 billion, now it's $2 billion. Okay.
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure.
But could demand go higher? I mean, right now, Liz, the demand for CPUs to drive these agentic workloads, and this is largely because an agent requires to be scheduled, orchestrated, managed when it's moving those tokens. That kind of work can only be done by CPUs, and that's one of the things that we talked about when the product launch took place in March, and we're seeing that manifest in terms of demand. Demand is coming from the customers we announced and even new customers.
That's what I want to know more about. Meta was the first one that stepped up, correct? That they said, we want,
That's right.
is it hundreds of thousands of these? How many chips is Meta going to first demand?
That's probably, you're not far in the ballpark. We're not talking about the numbers, but yeah, these are north of that number. These are big numbers, and these are going into servers in the data center that are helping run all these agentic workloads that frankly can't be run on GPUs, and they need CPUs to do all the work, which is why the ARM AGI CPU has been so well received.
What I think is interesting is you did bring in about $1.5 billion for the quarter. That would be up 20% from a year ago, which is very impressive. And yet Barron's headline, and again, it's not the worst problem to have, but Barron's had a headline of an article that said demand might be too strong to meet for ARM. So we got through all of that. Again, when do you think that you'll be able to catch up? And what is it specifically that you're missing?
Yeah, and back to the results. The other thing that we talked about was our IP business tied to the data center doubled. Doubled year on year. We think it's going to double again in this year. I think the supply issue is something that all of us in the industry are going to be working on for quite some time, quite frankly. There is a lot of demand for CPU. There's a lot of demand for power efficient technology. That's what ARM does. So I imagine that we're going to be working the supply and demand challenges for a bit.
We were just up in Seattle at Amazon with Andy Jassy. He's very excited about the chips they are making. ARM is very involved in the Graviton chip with Amazon. You just made a big announcement. Tell us about this relationship with Amazon right now.
Yeah, Amazon announced Graviton 5. So what is Graviton 5? That is their design chip. They've designed it themselves based on ARM. So we are the licensor. They are the licensee in that case, and they bring those products to market. Graviton 5 is the latest chip that came out, and what that says, quite simply, they're on the 5th generation of the product, which is amazing. They get fantastic performance. They get roughly the same performance that you see on an x86 product at half the power. And if you think about our lineage, where we come from in terms of low power and smartphones, it's not surprising that we see that value proposition in the server space. So it's a wonderful relationship with Amazon. They've been great partners. We work with them for a long time, and they're on their 5th generation chip, all based on ARM, the Graviton CPU.
Yeah, that from a company that began just by selling books. One of the things that you have really had your arms and elbows in has been smartphone chips. What's going on with that market? You guys mentioned that that you're seeing some type of slowdown. Is it in different parts of the world? Is it China? Because Apple just saw its China business reflate. I mean, things started to look good there. Where are you seeing slowdowns?
Yeah, so we play almost everywhere in the smartphone market. Apple, you mentioned, and then literally every Android handset runs on ARM. Where we're seeing the slowdown, Liz, and why it really hasn't impacted ARM very much in terms of our earnings, is we see the slowdown in the lower end of the market. These are the lower priced phones where the selling price is not that high. The memory cost is high in those phones, so as a result, people want to move the allocation to the more premium smartphones where the selling price is higher. That's where we get most of our revenue, is in the premium smartphone. So as a result, our royalties are actually up year on year on smartphones, even though units are down. So, and this is largely, again, a function of the strategy we put in place years ago relative to our version 9 and higher royalty rates on smartphones.
Sounds like you guys need Taiwan Semi, which manufactures the chips that you're going to make, and everybody else's, to really keep pace here. Tell me about the most recent conversation you've had with Taiwan Semiconductor.
So Taiwan Semiconductor, world-class manufacturer, obviously, they build a lot of ARM stuff. There's a lot of ARM technology that goes through TSMC, whether that's Apple, whether that's MediaTek, NVIDIA, they all go through TSMC, Qualcomm as well. Now they're building our chip as well. So the ARM AGI CPU, that's also built at TSMC. So we have a unique relationship with them. We are a direct customer, but at the same time, they build a lot of technology based upon ARM. So we have a relationship that's not only a commercial relationship with them, but a very, very deep engineering and technology relationship where we make sure they have the very latest IP from us years before it's actually made available to the market, so that we understand what their process can do, they understand what our products can do, and ultimately when customers want to put them in the market, they're highly performant.
Rene, I don't know how you find the time to do what you do, but you just took on a second gig at SoftBank. You are going to be the CEO of a very important division there, and you're going to be running the SoftBank Group International. What are you going to be doing there, and does that dilute some of your focus from ARM itself, because you're still going to be running ARM?
Yeah, it sounds probably more fancy maybe than it actually is, but there's a lot of synergies between SoftBank Group and ARM. SoftBank's doing a lot around data centers, around energy, around infrastructure. We're doing a lot of things around compute. There's a lot of semiconductor technology that now sits inside SoftBank. So what this role helps me do is the coordination and orchestration and management of those resources to the benefit of SoftBank Group and hopefully to the benefit of ARM. My day job is still the CEO of ARM. My fiduciary duty is to ARM. I wake up and ARM is the first thing I think about. Maybe SoftBank is kind of my night job. I don't know, but it definitely it's going to be a synergistic thing. Don't worry about that.
Well, the first thing I think about is coffee. I don't know about you. You're clearly thinking about ARM. Fine. Finally, what about guys like who've been in? You've worked at NVIDIA for so long. We've only got just a few seconds left, but are they feeling threatened by what you guys are doing, making chips?
I don't think so. One of the things that that we made sure of with NVIDIA and frankly a large number of partners is we went to them ahead of the ARM Everywhere Day and said, we're doing this. We think it's great for the ARM ecosystem. Okay. We'd love your support that day. And everybody we asked, Liz, said yes. So we had video testimonials from Jensen. We had it from Microsoft, James Hamilton at Amazon, Google. Gotcha. So it was great.
Great to see you, Rene. Thank you very much. There's the closing bell. All markets in